Do you enjoy working with other people? Do you like to plan and organize activities? Then a career in business, management, and administration may interest you. Business management and administrative workers give the support needed to make a business run. You might check employee time records or train new employees, or you might work as a top executive and provide the overall direction for a company or department. There are many types of jobs at all levels. For example, you might manage the financial activities of a business, direct the public to specific people or departments, or record incoming and outgoing shipments. There are over 60 careers across 5 career pathways in the business, management, and administration cluster. Those pathways include administrative support, business information management, general management, human resources management, operations management.
You know, I started off as an engineering major at community college, at College of DuPage Community College. And some of the courses I found a little bit challenging. So I adjusted my plan to go towards business more. And a lot of that had to do with my father, who was in finance. And so I completed at College DuPage, my community college, and I transferred off and I received a bachelor's degree in finance and then continued on with a master's degree in business administration. And I was invited back for my PhD and I turned them down because I wanted to get to work. I started off as a sales assistant for a company called First Affiliated Securities. And my job was to, at that time, which was legal, we used to cold call people. We'd phone people, and my job was to try and get them interested in some investments, and then I would pass it off to a broker. So as an educator, first of all, I'm a very early riser. So I get up usually before 5 a.m. And I wasn't always like that, but I've sort of adjusted because pre-markets open, and foreign markets are open very early. So I usually do that. I read a few newspapers, get up to date on what's going on in the world, especially business. So get my Wall Street Journal out and read that. And then I get ready for the day. I do some exercises and then shower, get ready. And I have an 8 a.m. class usually every semester. So right now I'm going down to my office and prepping my Zoom and getting classes going by 8 o'clock. Usually it's a little bit before that in case students have any questions. And then I have a couple hours of classes, and then I have a couple hour break so I can catch up on what's happening in the markets. And plus, what's great is that since I do teach business, economics, and accounting, I really can keep up with what's going on in the world and use that to my benefit in my educational career. So I can bring those facets back to the classroom and try and associate the real world into the class. A broker has a license Series 7. Now I did have that, but I gave that up and became an investment advisor rep. So I don't necessarily facilitate the trades, but I advise the clients and I usually make the calls on the portfolios. Usually I have discretion over all my accounts, all my clients' accounts. So what that means is that I get to pick and choose what they're going to invest in. Now, that sounds like I have a lot of power, which I do, but I do always maintain that open line of communication with my clients so that they know what's going on. And I'm not a day trader, so I'm not in and out of securities a lot, but I'm a long-term player. And so depending on their risk level, I will develop a portfolio so that they are limited enough in risk, but just enough to obtain their goals. Lots of different types of risk. There's market risk, there's systemic risk, there's portfolio risk, there's lots of different types. So on the low end is, we would consider like United States government bonds. And that's what, a lot of people would call it the risk-free rate. So the interest rate you receive, the payment you receive for that investment, loaning the government your money, is considered risk-free because it's backed by the full faith of the government of the United States. And then on the other end, you might have some derivative securities, futures, things like that, which a lot of the farmers probably deal in a little bit more of that than my clients would, where you're really risking a lot. It's almost unlimited risk in those instances. And you can go into debt, what we call margin, and you can pull from a margin account to invest to double your potential earnings. But then again, you're doubling your potential risk. And again, they always come back for you. So you got to pay them back. Everybody you hear in these video interviews is going to be talking about different careers, and all of those careers are businesses. They work for a business. So whether you're talking about nursing or you're talking about computer science, they work inside a business. And so therefore, those businesses have people like me in there. So you can either look at in the accounting realm and dealing with the accounts payable and the accounts receivable and balancing and maybe auditing places. You can look at finance, and there's two schools of finance. You have the investment side, and you also have the corporate finance side, which is looking at ways to finance capital projects. You have marketing, which what we're doing right now a little bit, where you see the signs and you see the emblems and things like that, the commercials, and you have, all these sort of things shouting at you. That's marketing. And then you have management that kind of pulls all those together and kind of tries to balance it all out. Data science, data analytics, in which you're looking at the numbers and trying to sort of predict in a useful way what customers want and what they don't want, and how to improve the business. For me, I was very analytical, so numbers always came easy to me. I could see trends in numbers. I could see, patterns, so to speak. But there's more to it than that. So being good with math, being good with numbers, but on the other side, you have to be good with people. Developing relationships is really important in business, and having people's trust. And so there's this sort of middle of the road where you have to be, analytical as well as a relationship builder. And I think that balance is really important for people to have. If you're going to go into business, I of course suggest that you get an education. Now that doesn't mean that everybody who is successful has an education, but most of them do. And of course you're going to start at Rend Lake College because it's less expensive. And if we want to look at business, we're going to look at costs. And we want to not go into debt. We want to do the most inexpensive way to get to our goal. So we get our associate's degree in business and we move on to any university, just about anywhere. A Rend Lake College degree will follow you. A lot of the high schools have an FBLA program, which is Future Business Leaders of America. A lot of the local ones around here are starting to delve into the CEO program or the EDGE program, in which it's all about entrepreneurship. And that's a great way to get a foothold into that world of business and to really experience it firsthand. So if you're interested in playing video games on the Xbox or the PlayStation, now we have the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and we can talk about the shortages and how that relationship, and we do in class. But anything that interests you, look for information on it. And those are all about business. Everything out there is a business. So any information you find, whether you go to yahoo.com or just do a Google search for business news or whatever interests you news, and you will find information on that. I'm on the website, the rlc.edu website. My contact information there. Send me an email. I'd be happy to talk to you. Right about now, we'll be meeting via Zoom, but maybe in the future, stop by the campus and we can talk in my office about, what your strengths are and where you're headed. There's two paths in business at Rend Lake College. One for those, looking to enter into the workforce after Rend Lake, and those who plan to go on to a university and get a bachelor's degree or higher. Always consider, even if you don't want to get a university degree, always consider Rend Lake College, if you're interested in business, for that applied science degree, and educate yourself before maybe opening that first business. Majority of first businesses fail. But the one thing to remember is that, fail only means first attempt in learning.
If you are interested in a career in business, management, and administration, Rend Lake College is here to help you prepare with a variety of programs to develop the knowledge and skills needed. RLC has career technical education programs such as Business Associate in Applied Science degree, Business Management Certificate, Business Management 2 Certificate, Entrepreneurship Certificate, Financial Associate Certificate, Human Resources Associate Certificate, Microsoft User Certificate, Office Technologies Assistant Certificate, or a transfer degree program such as Business Associate of Arts degree.